Danson, Omari, and I have Gabriel Muthuma, both political analysts. What does this mean for ODM now?
You see, Linda, I think we go back to the same sentiments that we were airing there a while ago. You see, in a normal workable nation, an upright government, an upright democracy, the nation revolves or orbits around the axis of law and order. So when those two principal virtues are removed, immediately you have riot and all other vices associated with not having law and order comes in.
Okay.
IEBC is an agent mandated to help and navigate this nation to having credible elections. They have ruled
That
by law,
primaries
according
cannot
to
go
what
on.
Danson has told us, and he's a legal expert. And when he questions the like of Orengo and the likes of the former AG being in that camp, and they cannot guide and interpret the party leader to understand, we have a major problem.
Listen, we're staying on the nominations, but right now we're crossing over to Machakos, where Murimi Mwangi is on the ground. Murimi, good to see you. What's happening on the ground? Are we still having nominations tomorrow?
Good morning, Linda. On my way here, I did speak to the ODM party officials here in Machakos County, and they insist that they will proceed with their nominations as had been initially set out to happen. But remember, majority of the candidates that will be contesting on the ODM party ticket here in Machakos County will most likely be getting direct nominations, since in most of the seats you happen to only have one candidate seeking the ODM party ticket. For instance, of the 28 candidates that are seeking the ticket of the ODM party, only 2 will be contesting for parliamentary seats, that in Mavoko and Yatta. The rest of them will be seeking the county assembly seats, and in most cases, these guys will be given direct nominations by virtue of the fact that they do not have competitors from within the areas where they will be contesting. But of course, a key question for these particular aspirants, even as the nominations come in from tomorrow, is with regard to the legitimacy of their nomination by the ODM party. Remember, the IEBC has made it clear that there should be no party primaries before the names of the said aspirants have been gazetted, and that was set to happen on Wednesday next week. And there are some legal thinkers who argue that this could set the stage for a series of petitions in the future before the main election, or even possibly even after the general election, because any party might move to court and argue that the candidate that won, say, the nomination or the main election was not properly cleared by their political party. And therefore, it is a discussion that has gotten ODM thinking and even talking, but they insist that they will be holding their nominations tomorrow. Linda?
Yeah, it's interesting that you bring up that point, Murimi, because we have Danson and Gabriel Muthuma in studio, and they both agree that there are legal implications for ODM if they go against the IEBC. But the most interesting thing that has come from the conversation, the fact that you have one candidate contesting for one particular seat, just one, on ODM. Did I hear you correct? Murimi, can you hear me?
I can hear you, Linda, but I didn't quite get your question.
Okay, so this is what I'm asking. I'm saying it's interesting that you bring in the fact that there could be legal implications for ODM if they indeed go ahead with these nominations, because IEBC insists the names must be gazetted first. But let's look at the candidates that will be contesting this particular seats on ODM ticket. Apparently, there's one candidate at some area, just one. Is it because of Wiper?
Well, it is an interesting discussion. Remember, this is a stronghold of the Wiper party, so to speak, and a majority of those that will be contesting here in Machakos County are eyeing the Wiper party ticket, but of course there's also the Maendeleo Chap party. But besides that particular issue, the fact that you only have one candidate eyeing the tickets for the ODM party for various elective seats here in Machakos County might of course ease them from the tension with regard to the legitimacy of their candidature should they be nominated by the ODM party tomorrow. Because remember, the parties will be handing in the list of their nominees by latest 10th of May. And if indeed some of these candidates do not have competitors here on the ground, then there won't be anybody challenging the legitimacy of their candidature after being handed their nomination papers by the ODM party. Even if that nomination process happens tomorrow, it's just a formality, because for these candidates, they are assured of the ODM party ticket here in Machakos County and will be facing off with a Wiper, which, as we said, has staked a claim on Machakos County as a stronghold of the party. Remember, that was a discussion that was ongoing for quite a long time regarding whether other partners in the National Super Alliance should be fielding candidates within areas that are presumed to be outside the jurisdictions of their strongholds. But of course, it seems that there will be internal competition within NASA for the various elective seats across the country, including here in Machakos County. Linda.
Remy Mwangi, thank you. Always such a pleasure speaking to you. So in studio, we have Danson, Omari, and Gabriel Muthuma. Gentlemen, what are your thoughts about what's happening in Machakos?
I was finishing my point.
Okay, finish your point, Muthuma.
And it's the same, by the way, it mirrors, not mirrors, it marinates with actually same thing we are talking in Machakos.
Okay.
ODM has made it very clear in its categorical, we are still continuing with our primaries, we don't care what
No,
you
but
say.
Murimi says he actually spoke to some of the officials who take cognizance of the fact that this could bring problems to us.
It doesn't matter how far you've come. They just made a statement. We are still continuing. And that's why I'm saying, why get all this far? And really, you see, when the Chief Justice talks about you people taking to him hogwash cases, this is one of them. Because law is there. Why can't we just follow the law? And by the way, the credence that we should follow is your name is gazetted, all right? Whether you're getting a direct nomination or not. And I agree that's the right way to go. Once your name is gazetted, because that is when it legitimizes you as a candidate in a general election. So the issue of saying you're getting a direct, even if you're getting a direct nomination, your name has to be gazetted, all right? Then comes the nomination. So if you're giving a direct nomination, that can be understood. All parties, both divides are doing the same. So, but when the law is very clear that you must wait for this gazettement, because really that is when you're giving the IEBC time to scrutinize you, unless you're running away from, I don't want to talk about paper, somebody's academic person. But I'm just saying, there's a scrutiny by IEBC where they have to conduct, and you're legitimized to run as a candidate for the general election. So why can we not just follow the law? And I told you, Linda, sometime, I don't think it was in this broadcast, but I said one time, when you open loopholes, every time you're playing catch with the law, I am telling you the kind of disservice you're doing to a nation like ours. And I'm beginning from way back in IEBC, when you are saying every Monday morning, Tear Gas Monday, when you are saying we need to remove the Hassan-led commission. And I told people, it does not end here. And people thought I was just making crazy arguments. The day you give a mouse a cookie, trust me, tomorrow it comes for a glass of milk.
Danson, Omari.
Yes.
I will give you the chance to be the quote-unquote devil's advocate. Is there any reason why IBC should allow ODM to go on with its nominations? They have made their own arguments from where is it?
The question that is very simple. In law, there is what is called reasonability.
Okay.
Have they acted within the reasonable positioning? One, ODM announced these party nominations almost 3 months ago, that these party nominations are supposed to start tomorrow. IBC was an entity that was alive, kicking, and they knew this provision of the law existed. Right? Did they give the date when they are going to gazette? That date was announced 2 days ago, that they are going to announce that date. They are going to gazette people on Wednesday. Was the government print available? It has always been there. Has ODM used massive resources to recruit, to hire, to assemble, to campaign for these nominations? Yes. What will be the cost of stopping these nominations? And I'm sure that those brains in ODM might, as we are talking here, might be in court now to revoke that decision on those grounds that it is going to cause great prejudice in terms of time, logistics, and very many other issues, if these nominations are withstood. And the moment the courts agree with ODM, IBC will always be losing very useless battles that it is not supposed to be involved. My advice to the IBC is very clear. Don't be responding to political parties.
Good.
The political parties want to have a fight with you. And the moment you lose, they gain a lot. And I'm definite, Linda, from my legal experience, is that once the ODM move to court and show the logistical nightmare of stopping these elections, the courts will allow them to do that, because IBC could have gazetted those things long time ago. Number two, I have heard Murimi Mwangi say that it might be a reason to nullify a winner. It's true, because electioneering, being elected, is a process. It is not only by virtue of that. But the questions that will be raised is, there is a political parties tribunal that is likely to deal with these things. That is an entity created by the IBC. It is an IBC arm. So we expect a lot of disputes to land at the political parties tribunal. Is that organ competent to deal with this matter? Because the question that will be there, they are talking about people who are contesting. Do they have members, registers or members of who are going to vote today? So in my own view, I think that the political parties in courts, which I call commercial entities, are simply collecting more money. Remember, ODM might, if the nominations are declared null and void, people again will contribute for another nomination process.
That's right.
So ODM will collect the money twice. Remember the money they have used, they have taken, they will purport that they have used that money for the nominations for tomorrow and the whole week.
Okay.
So it is also a commercial venture to reap money from aspirants.
I understand. Okay.
These guys are commercial. Jubilee has collected 800 million, and that is only a conservative figure that has been given to the people.
800
the truth
million.
might be,
Yes.
they might have collected 8 billion. We don't know how much ODM has collected. Let me tell you, Linda, this is the time for briefcase parties. Remember, we have more than 73 political parties, but you only know Jubilee and ODM. But for 4 years, those guys were not there. Now they are collecting money and smiling all the way to the bank.
Muthuma.
Where were we when people are registering political parties? I think
We should have,
we
by
need
the
to
way.
have like a small party.
No, we can register today.
Of course. And ours
I
was
think
just...
give me instructions, I register.
Please do. I think we need one.
I'll keep the money. I'll be the treasurer, right?
No. We need a board of directors. Anyway, again,
Yeah.
you see, I am not saying in any way, shape or form that IBC are going to lose on this.
Yeah.
But one thing I'll agree with Danson is that the minute you enter into a fight, and that this is what
With
I'm calling,
political parties.
this is what I'm saying, playing catch all the time. You look as if you're losing your bearing. You know, even in the issue of talking about the tallying, and I know probably you don't want us to touch on this, but again, they came out to address the very same thing. But you see, to me, law is law, and it has to be followed. And every
Hold on.
time,
Hold on.